McDonald's Coaches Bench here on Mix 104.1 and CHS Live. And once again, we're very happy for Dale Halfacre and his group here at CHS Live. And let me give some recognition to Joel Miller, Jacoby Little, and Christian Davis for doing the behind-the-scenes work today for this program. Terry Evans, along with Coach Chandler Tygart, and also very special guest Mark Smith in the studio with us. And this is McDonald's Coaches Bench. And Mark Smith, I have forgotten how many years, but you have sponsored this program for many years, and it's great to have you here.
Oh, great, Terry. Thanks for having me. We sponsored this, I'm going to say at least 40 years, at least. My father started it back in the day with not Coach Rowland, but Mayor Rowland, and with Tom and the relationship that we've had and with the school, and it's great. And, this is the second time we've gotten together with the coach, and Chandler's doing a great job with our kids. And, hey, we're just very pleased to be able to do this and appreciate the offer to come in and be part of the show.
Anytime you want to come by, and this program's done midweek, so they can be developments between now and when this show is on the air. So if we don't cover a subject that comes up late week, that's why, because we're doing this midweek as we always do. Coach Chandler, thanks for being here. You're a busy man, week number 2. And so let's talk a moment about last week, a win over Clinton, a big win to start the season off on the right foot.
Yeah, it was great. And honestly, before we start, I got to thank Mark. So a lot of people know how much he does, but people don't know necessarily how good of a friend he is to me, my family. He goes out of his way to check on us all the time. So not only does he sponsor all these great things, and yes, that's true, but at the same time, personally, we really appreciate him. So I want to make sure I tell him that publicly. Awesome game last week. Very exciting atmosphere. Still a little, too many yellow flags on the field.
Right.
But we overcame a lot of adversity, especially the very end of the third quarter. That could have really gone the other way when they started getting all the momentum, and then we stopped them on the 1-yard line.
Yes.
And then drove the entire field going and actually chewing clock to basically make it a 3-score game and seal the game. So I was very proud of the kids. I thought they did a great job playing with emotion, but handling their emotions. We can have some holdings or pass interferences in the game, and you don't want those, and we work on them, but at the same time, that's just because they're playing hard. And I think our teams play very hard. I think they like our coaches. They play hard for our coaches. And so that's really all you ask for as a coach. And Clinton had a talented team. I told you that wide receiver was as good as advertised.
You were right again.
He's going to be an all-state player. Bryson Maddox is his name, and but we held him. We were trying to hold him under 100, and we were going to buy the kids donuts. I think he got 110 or right over there for 2. He had 2 big catches, but I think we did a good job trying to contain him as best we could. We got after the quarterback. I think AJ Westfield showed how much growth he's had in a year, and what he's done to have 8 tackles and 2 sacks and 5 tackles for loss. And Isaiah Davis had a great game. He was kind of our offensive player of the game. Gabe Moore blocked a field goal. And so overall, I think we're making strides from the scrimmages to the first game, and then now, we got to really be resilient going to McMinn County with everything that's happened in the week and all that. So it's going to be a big challenge coming forward.
It will be a big challenge, and to go back for a moment with A.J. Westfield, enthusiastic, 100% effort, trying to lift his team up any chance he gets. And when he ran that 2-point conversion, I pitied anybody in his way. He is like a freight train.
Yeah.
And he only needed a couple of yards, of course, on the point after. And then he ran the ball one time like a bull, getting the first down. It's great to see that much experience and talent and excitement that he delivers.
Yeah, well, so it goes all the way back to youth league. He was such a great athlete. He was one of the fastest kids on the team, for 8U and 10U, but he weighed too much to run the ball. So the poor kid wanted to run the ball his entire youth league career and didn't get to. Last season against Clinton, his first ever carry, he ran for a 45-yard touchdown. And so again, he got us a 4th and 1, but then what happened on the 2-point conversion, they jumped off sides. So, I mean, if you're going to put it on the 1-yard line for us and we can snap it to AJ, we didn't even block anyone that play. And he just ran everybody over and got in for 2 points.
Fear got him that. Because,
one of their kids did try to step up. So
and then that kid had trouble getting up off the floor.
He tried to step up on AJ, so at least that's a tough-minded kid. So luckily he was okay. But I wouldn't want to be standing in front of AJ.
No, not at all. Let us go back to Mark Smith for just a moment. Mark, not only do we appreciate all the years you and your family have sponsored Coach's Bench on WCLE and Mix 104.1, but you gave me a present before we went on the air, and folks, I'm going to cherish this, and 50 years from now, it'll still be in that plastic, and in fact, we may include it at the gravesite. I'll be laying there just like this, holding that helmet. But no, Mark, thank you very much for that. It means a lot to me. It really does. And so tell us a little bit how you're involved with the Cleveland football team this year. Coach talked about it some last week, but we want you to talk about what all you've done for this program since last fall.
Since last fall, we was fortunate enough. My foundation was able to buy the new uniforms that we have that have turned out really, really nice. For our kids to be, if you're going to be the best program in the state, you have to look in the part. And I can't coach the kids. I can go out there and I can watch it and I can make suggestions, which Chandler has been very kind to listen to an old man. But we got to look the part. And we're Cleveland High School, and we are different than everybody else. We have a great tradition of fierce pride. And as a former member of the football program, you want our kids to have nice things. The helmets we did, Terry, I have a friend that I play football with at Notre Dame, and it's what he does for a living. And we came up with something nice that would be for the administration and special people to the program, like yourself, who have dedicated I don't know how many years to Cleveland High School. And as I drive back from the football games that I officiate, we listen to your call sometimes when our game gets done or for some reason your game is delayed. So, but we wanted you to make sure that you had that, and we have some ideas about what we're going to do with the blue version of this helmet. I just got to get our football coach when he has some time to get figured out what we want to do. But coming down the road, I think we're probably going to have a fundraiser where we will sell a different version of the helmet for Cleveland High fans.
Uniforms look great. The helmets look great. Coach, I know you're extremely proud of the presentation the football team has this year when they come on the field, because what an upgrade.
Well, everything's important to me, so just the uniforms alone. I mean, me and Mark sat down and designed them, and there's always this debate about blue and red and white and all this stuff, and I think it's the perfect use of the school colors, and getting everyone to be proud of those uniforms. So that's an important piece, but also the game day atmosphere. CHS Live and Dell and the guys did a great job this past week, because we're not live streaming the games. They went all in on the actual presentation of the game. So they've got camera guys on the field showing the coin toss, showing replays, showing all these things on the Jumbotron. We've got the flashing lights now. We're working on some other things for starting lineup videos and entrance videos, and we're going to keep building, and we're going to provide the most entertaining experience for high school football in the state, and then word will keep spreading. And we do the same thing when we hosted the Youth League Super Bowl last year, and we wanted to make sure every kid that gets to play football on that field feels special. And the majority of them aren't going to play college football, but we can kind of give them that feel that a lot of places can't. And, we added the names on the back of the jersey last week, and we surprised the kids on Friday morning. They had no idea it was coming, but the school name on the front is important, and that's the most important. But at the same time, there's a lot of traditional Cleveland families that have come through here. And when you see Davis on the back of a number 1 jersey, their whole family has done that.
Yes.
And so it makes moms and dads proud. There's nothing like seeing your kid or your last name on the back of a jersey on Friday night and your kid playing well. So it's important to them, and it's kind of another step in that college atmosphere we try to bring bring. So then those kids can feel that for their 4 years here. And if they go on to keep playing, great. But if not, they felt exactly what it's like.
They've been a part of the team, and they've put forth the effort, and they deserve the name there on the back of the uniform that they're going to cherish from now on. They'll show their grandkids how proud they were of wearing the red, white, and blue. And it's just you two guys, and I can tell people this in all honesty, whether we're on the air or just see somebody around town, these two guys don't sit and just let the train go like this. These two guys want to be rockets, and they want the program to go like this. Most of you know them. If you don't know them, take my word for it. They're not just let things be as they've been for 40 years. They go this way. We'll take our first break here on McDonald's Coaches Bench, and we'll be right back. Welcome to segment 2 of the Coaches Bench, each and every week, brought to you by the area McDonald's restaurants and Mark Smith. Let me say that I ended the first segment with my colors in the wrong order. It's blue, white, trimmed in red. So
there you go.
Let's stick with that because, as somebody pointed out, Mark Smith says they're the Blue Raiders. Yes, they are, and have been for 50-something years now. Let's talk a moment, guys. Now, Mark, you're the special guest today, and I want to cover this. Not only have you done so much for the program, but also last season and this season, you have a show on Mix 104.1, a pregame show. Let's talk about that.
That was, we have the Cleveland Football Panel, sponsored by Trophies Unlimited. Go by and see Christy for all your trophy needs and award needs, and also it's all right to bring Henry a little biscuit. So if you've ever been there, Henry's her dachshund, and it's great. But Steve approached me about being one of the panelists, and as a TSSAA football official, I can't be picking games. That would not be good. So I said, Steve, what if I moderated the show? And so what we've done is I've brought a new format to the show. Instead of just talking about football games, we've had special guests, and so far we've had Al Morris, the athletic director. This week's guest is Bob Pritchard, our principal. We have different coaches come and talk about Cleveland High School for 2/3 of the show, and then we pick that out. It's been very well received. I appreciate Steve. We're very fortunate. Our panelist is Dr. Karen Hall, who's a Hall of Famer here at Cleveland High School, and then we have Matt Jenny, who was a great golfer here.
Right.
And then, as we say, the Bradley guy we inherited was Scott McGowan, who runs the old fort, and his wife Amy is the 2-time volleyball champion, and so we have a lot of fun, and we appreciate Steve looking to us to do it, and hopefully, I don't know when this falls in to the show, but if you listen to us, please let us know what we'd like to change. We wanted people to know about Cleveland High School. This is a great place. We've got a great story to tell. This week, next week got Brent Tucker coming. We got Bianca Hensley, who took the girls basketball team to the Final Four. We've got Reggie Tucker. We've got Seth Lamarga, who's our bowling coach. And most people don't know that Cleveland High has bowling. We've got Amy McGowan coming, and then we got Josh Boskin, who's the 2-time or 4-time state champion wrestling coach for the Lady Raiders wrestling team. And then, of course, we got Joey Knox, who's the 14-time state champion wrestling coach coming. So we've got an action-packed show every week, and something new we started is we're going to let the hosts be the guest pickers. And
Right.
Al, I have to say, was, man, I got to pick them. And Al, you were 4 and 5, so you might want to stick to being an AD. So.
We'll hold that over his head. Yeah, absolutely. But it's great to have a program on Mix 104.1 that covers all the sports. You get to talk to people in each individual sport. And, you know, back in the old days, you had maybe 3 primary sports: baseball, football, basketball, and now you got every sport in the world in a high school program. So it's great that you're having people on there that covers the different sports.
And also, we're also very happy to have Dr. Jeff Elliott, the new director of
Right.
schools. I believe that's the term. I call him superintendent because Dr. Yates was the superintendent, but the director of school, Jeff, who is doing a great job. Jeff is a huge supporter of all the schools, and I was fortunate to run into a couple of teachers that happened to be at a school where Dr. Elliott was at, and they just were head over heels with him, that he was so attentive to them and looking to try and make their situations better. And we're lucky to have Jeff, and Jeff's doing a great job. But I think Jeff is on in 2 weeks, and we'll look forward to having him, and so see what he can talk about Cleveland City Schools.
One of the pregame programs on Mix 104.1 before this week's 7:30 kickoff. If you haven't heard, kickoff for Cleveland at McMinn this week at 7:30, and hopefully there'll be some clouds covering the sun. But we'll come back and get to McMinn County and Cleveland tonight on Mix 104.1, and we'll be back for segment 3 in just a moment.
At Mermaid Mattress, we've been obsessed with helping you sleep better for over 45 years.
And as a mom of a newborn, I understand the importance of a good night's sleep.
What happened to you?
Your grandson.
This Labor Day, we have the best deals on Mermaid mattresses right here in Chattanooga.
Like our memory foam or 2-sided anniversary mattress in any size for only $5.95.
And that's only at Mermaid Mattress.
Your sleep handmade, hand delivered.
Tonight, 7:30 for the kick in Athens, the friendly city, and we hope it's friendly to Cleveland tonight. Coach Tigard, those people in Athens went down to Bradley last week and beat Bradley. Mm-hmm. They are still celebrating. I mean, that's huge for them. They consider Bradley their biggest rival because they've played them so long. Mm-hmm. And they'd lost like 4 or 5 in a row to Bradley. So their win last week put them sky high. And so therefore, you're playing a team on the road that's coming off a big win over their rival. What kind of atmosphere are you expecting?
Well, honestly, I've never been to McMinn, but I've been hearing stories since I got here.
And there's plenty of those.
Yeah, so I'm expecting a tough, hard-nosed football game. I know Coach Cagle and how he coaches his team, and they're very disciplined and physical, extremely physical. So this will be probably one of the hardest-hitting games we play all season. They've got a great offensive line. They have one of the best O-linemen in the state. That's a junior, Camden Goforth. They've got a very physical, multiple running backs that all run track. So we know a lot about their team personally. Defense, they do a great job. Same defense they did last year. They always line up to everything. They're always prepared. They don't beat themselves. And so it's going to be a tough game for sure. Anytime we're playing on the road, that's a challenge. I even looked up, the history of playing at home and on the road. Right. It wasn't as skewed with them as it was like with Ray County. Mm-hmm. But since Bo's been there, he has a winning record against Cleveland at home. And it's not the case on the road when they play here. So historically in that series, it's who is the home team has the advantage. And, it's our turn this year, and it's going to be very hot. And so we're going to have to overcome a whole lot of adversity to get the win.
As we talked last year with Coach Tigard, the man could write a history book of Cleveland High football, and last year was his first year here. He goes back and he finds out things that the ones of us who were there kind of have forgotten. But he knows what's happened in the past with Cleveland football, and I sure respect him for taking the energy and the effort to look at the past, not just what he's encountering today. And Mark Smith, you've seen a lot of Cleveland McMinn football. What's your expectations?
Oh, it'll be an unbelievable atmosphere in Athens. They and just reading some stuff on social media, they're excited that they can possibly be the city champions of Cleveland. They beat a very good Bradley team, and they played well, and the atmosphere there is going to be nuts. You know, if they can get wins over Bradley and Cleveland, and they'll be crazy, and it'll be a great atmosphere. It'll be a very tough, competitive, hard-hitting game. McMinn always hits. They may not be very good, but they will hit you, and you have to maintain discipline, and you need to hand the ball to the official and go back, because if you start talking, they'll hit you harder.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well put. Gentlemen, it's going to be a great opportunity for the Blue Raiders. Speaking of opportunities, sometimes in life and football, when an opportunity comes along, you got to take advantage. McCowan, I think, has been given an opportunity, and we'll see how it works. I know you like 2 quarterbacks, and so we'll see what the young man can do.
I wondered how long we were going to get through this before we start talking about that. But honestly, I want what's best for kids, and if kids want to come here, and they have from other schools, and that's the best situation for them, obviously we're for it. At the same time, if the kid feels like they need a better situation somewhere else, then that's okay too. You can't have it both ways.
Right.
And so we've always tried to keep it real and be 100% truthful and honest with everybody. And so I'm happy for Cash. I really am. People don't believe that, but I really am. And I'm happy for our team, and we're going to be, the Blue Raiders will be fine. Casey McGowan has got a lot of talent. Chase Stevens has a lot of talent, and Cash did too. So we're going to be all good there, and we just have to focus on McMahon County and worry about ourselves and what we can control, and because it's a very good team this year with McMinn. They have a chance. I don't know. I need to look that up, how many times that's been done where they've beat Cleveland and Bradley in the same season. And so we definitely don't want to help in that regard. So if we focus on them and we focus on ourselves, then I think we'll be okay.
In life, you can choose the high road. You can choose the low road. This man is taking the high road, and we respect him for that. Mark Smith, great to have you.
Thank you for having me,
Anytime that you want to drop in and be a part of the program, the door is open until Dale closes it for sound purposes. But any other time.
Thank you very much, Terry. I will, if the opportunity presents itself, I will make a guest appearance, but I always let you know that I'm coming.
Well, you don't have to. If you walk in the door one day in the middle of the program, we just stop, say, here's Mark. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's been a great program today. Stay tuned for Cleveland High Football on Mix 104.1. Terry Evans saying, see you next week.
Wasn't love, they got me put up. I put you on bus and take you around. A couple of guys inside of the school, I gave them the tools to get it off ground. They say they're the ones when they make the airs, can't look in the mirror. Rush the box, stand on the stage, I give them the rage. I'm turning it down, maintaining, keep flowing, doing the streets. We do it for keys, we do it for rights. I'm 52 weeks, this shit ain't for pleasure, I'm coming to tweak. This shit is forever, and infinite. Hey, yeah, we write it and rap it and write it and rap it and write it.